Hello, I'm very late today and I apologize for that. I was just running behind, really. There's no excuse, I was just late. Hopefully me being this late has annoyed Landy, because he was probably planning on going live early. Because he was running under the assumption that I wouldn't be streaming today. Hello, Witchy. Something I need to talk about real quick before I really get into the stream. There won't be a stream on Saturday. I'm going karting again. And I'm gonna see if I can talk everybody into going to Cork afterwards. Because I found something out today that I'm gonna try and lobby for a trip to Cork afterwards. Steve, Morton, Witchy, Farming Boy, Footy, Patrick Christensen, Jason Taylor, Norman Schenk, and whoever else is here, Geraldine Dawson as well. So I'm gonna try and get a full day out on Saturday if I can. Ah, Monk and Draster. Wonderful. You're back from the annoyingness. Welcome back, Footy. I do apologize for starting so very late today. I know that it's annoying when I do, because it annoys me. What's your mum's name? I just read out the names that I see on chat, dude. I don't know who exactly has them, but I just read out the names that I see. Hello, Addy Boo. How are you doing today, dude? Give you a chance to eat your dinner. I had some noodles, which was probably a mistake considering I've been suffering for the last few days, and I have been pushing streams out despite this. I've been struggling for the past few days, and I still can't have it today with just this really weird upset stomach. I'm not entirely sure what's causing it, but it's really getting annoying. The days that I don't stream are the days that it's particularly bad and I feel like I might have problems. Do silage! We did some last time. We did a bit of silage last time, so I don't think it's I don't think we have grass that we can mow, actually. Well, we might down in field 7. Well, we probably do actually in field 7. We did some silage last time. And I do want to get this field finished, so that's kind of the priority for today. And if we get this done, I will do some silage afterwards, I promise. So guys, I have received confirmation today that the first fact sheet will be arriving tomorrow. Hoping for something interesting. Hoping for some interesting stuff that'll be in it or them. I don't know how many there are. And yeah, looking like this is the real start of the push to FS19. So I will have a video up tomorrow about the fact sheets, and you might be surprised how early it goes up. There's 4. Dang it, Witchy! Yes, there are 4, and I've seen them. Okay, so full disclosure, I do actually know what the fact sheets are. I actually have them. I'm not allowed to talk about them until tomorrow. I'm not allowed to show them off or talk about them until tomorrow. But I do have them. I have seen them. I have had a look. But there are 4 of them, and you'll get a video on them tomorrow. Hello, Yanis. Yanis, there is an embargo. I literally can't talk about them. I can say that I have them, and that's about it. Even then, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that I have them. Fact sheet's usually just the machinery or other stuff. It's usually machinery. So everything is fair game. It could be forestry stuff, could be slurry spreaders, could be manure spreaders, could be harvesters, cultivators, plows, seeders, sprayers, fertilizer spreaders, tractors, wheel loaders, telehandlers, weights, anything like that. So over the course of the next few weeks, and up until FS19, you will get to see a selection of the equipment. Hello, Delay. Could be the 8400 or... You guys will be very disappointed if it's not it, won't you? Hey, Jason. You'd be very disappointed if the first fact sheet isn't the 8400R. Or one of the first 4, now that it's confirmed there are 4. Fact sheet on weights, how interesting. They actually did one for 17 Adiboo, believe it or not. They did a fact sheet with weights. Because of course they brought in the AGCO weights. Now, for FS19 we know that there's a John Deere weight being introduced, which there may or may not be a fact sheet on that, I don't know. You know, they might do a fact sheet on the John Deere weight just because they want to troll people. And Giants do like trolling, you know. That's something that people maybe don't realize. Giants are this super serious business who love to troll. One of Lizardhand's favorite activities is trolling. He and I are very similar in some ways. Get a bigger combine. This one fits the field. You should know by now, dude, that I pick equipment that I feel suits the map, and I feel like this combine does suit the field. Should be a fact sheet on the sandcastle. There could be a fact sheet on placeables. That's another thing that I forgot. There, you know, it could be placeables as well. And have I misplaced me bloomin'? I have, you know. That's irritating. I've misplaced me good refill for me e-cig. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I'm gonna have to use one of my spares. You just suggest that wasn't phrased as a suggestion. A suggestion would be maybe you should think about getting a bigger combine. A demand is get a bigger combine, which is exactly what you said. Dumb mistake. We'll rule that down to dumb mistake, dude. So we all make them, including me, especially me. Hey, James. Coffee cup can go over there. And while this is on cruise control, look for FS19. What? You'll need a P6. I have no idea what that means. I am too accustomed to racing. So you're in 6th position. Congratulations. That's, what was it, 4 points? 3 or 4 points now in modern Formula 1. 1 retro point. Hey, Simulator Gaming, how you doing today? Missed a bit. We'll get that in a second. It's not for small case combine header, it's a small case combine header trailer mod. There's actually another header for it, and there's an Americanized version of the combine as well, if you know where to look. Primary 6 school. Oh, 6th class. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Also, hey Glengar. Don't know if I said hello to you already. I'm doing okay. It's Simulator Gaming. Still not 100%. I probably won't be for another few days. Because that... whatever's up with me, it seems to just be this lingering niggle. And it's annoying. So if I don't stream randomly, and I say so on Discord. By the way, Discord's the best place to know if I'm streaming or not, because I'll usually just pop something in before 5 o'clock. If I'm not streaming, I'll throw something in saying, yeah, no, not able today. And if I do that, it means that I don't trust myself. Do not trust. Do not trust stomach to behave for 2 hours. Or an hour and a half as it may be today. I trusted today. Yesterday, zero trust. But not briefly, looks good. It is a really good map. It's a map that I was talking to Andy about it yesterday. It's got a lot of stuff that both me and him usually say, this is terrible because of this. But it's so well built that you actually just straight up ignore the bits you don't like. Like I don't like the field shapes, I don't like that they're all square, but you know what, it kinda suits the map. I can't really go ham on the map just because the fields are square, because it's other than that, it's a fantastic map. Hey UK Army. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, get a like spike going. Let's aim for about 50 likes today. Why not? Hello, Rob Evans. Let's aim for about 50 likes. Why not? Let's aim high and hit low because I'm short. Come on, there we. Oops. Let's go, he says as he jumps out of the tractor. FS19 is just FOA with mods. That's Matt's joke. Stealing that joke from MattXJS. Can't wait to play FS19 on a British map. I'm looking forward to what's going to be possible. You like this trailer? Where'd you get it? I got it off the Mod Hub. It's the HODGEP. 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 I know it's probably not supposed to be pronounced HODGEP, but it's fun to pronounce it HODGEP. Because HODGEP. Come on. Oh. Helps if I move the mouse in the right direction. See, as this trailer is completely manually controlled. No McDonald's today? No. I believe it's stew for dinner tonight, which is delicious. No takeaway today of any description. But I think it's a beef stew tonight for dinner, so I'm looking forward to that, because beef stew. Ooh. Something truly delicious. I think I know what way my mother's gonna do it, because she's figured out a new way to get stew to work without it taking 24 hours. Because, like, if you leave stew for 24 hours, just leave it in the pot, the meat will soak up all the moisture and become really tender. There's a second way to do it, which is put it in the oven for like half an hour or an hour or so, and the meat will soak up all the moisture and be really tender anyway. So she's kind of solved the time issue that stews have. It sounds nice. It will taste delicious, and I will be a happy bunny. So something I've been doing the last couple of nights is I've been playing some FSX, of course. And I have been playing Airhauler. Now, something that I've managed to do in Airhauler is I've managed to get it to the point where I could take out a loan. Now, I've done that. Taking out a loan means that I can lease planes, and I've done that. So my new primary plane that I'm flying is a Fokker F50. F-O-K-K-E-R, it's a German plane. Formerly used by Aer Lingus up till 2001, it was the Aer Lingus commuter plane. So if you're old enough to remember the Aer Lingus commuter service, that flew to like the Iron Islands and I think between Cork and Dublin they flew as well. Cork and Shannon definitely had a commuter service. Cork and Kerry, Cork and I think Waterford might have been serviced by it. I don't know. But I've got one of them, and the Aer Lingus livery I have doesn't work, which is annoying. I think I put it on the wrong version of the plane. But it's a turboprop, which is really actually quite fun to fly. And I've been doing passenger flights in Airhauler. Why would you fly from Cork to Shannon? I don't know, but some people do. They have regional flights in Aer Lingus. They do. The regional flights, the shorter haul flights now are actually served by ATR 72s, so they've replaced the old F50s with ATRs, so the plane that I have now does not exist in the Aer Lingus fleet anymore, and hasn't since 2001. Also, some of the flights from Cork to Shannon are ghost flights, which means that they're just there so that they keep their slot in Shannon and Cork. Hey, Dusty! Air Iron does the Iron Islands now. Air Iron always did the Iron Islands, but Aer Lingus did at one point as well, with the commute service. My mommy a slow cooker for Christmas. She doesn't like slow cookers. She would prefer to just manually slow cook. Because I've suggested to her that she gets like a pressure cooker so that she can cook faster, or a slow cooker so that she can do stuff like that, and she said, no, why bother with those when you can just do it in a pot? It's her genuine response. She'll just leave the pot on the hob for hours on end. Like Christmas, she will start cooking at about 8 in the morning for dinner at 4 in the afternoon. What is FSX exactly? It's Microsoft Flight Simulator X, Flight Simulator 10. It's a flight sim. Any mid-air failures yet with the new plane? The autopilot doesn't seem to work. Air Iron is Stobart Air. Stobart Air, Adiboo, is a company that actually outsources for Aer Lingus. So technically Aer Lingus own Air Iron. That's a kind of a thing. At least as far as I'm aware they do. I haven't double checked that. Stobart Air actually runs the smaller planes for Aer Lingus. Does this work alongside Steam for multiplayer, for example? Yeah. In fact, Dave, I wouldn't even use FSX multiplayer. I would go with something like FS Cloud, FS Connect, VATSIM. There's like numerous third-party multiplayer clients. Where you can do multiplayer and it's not, strictly speaking, FSX multiplayer. How am I? I'm okay. She's old school, she won't change now. Yeah. So, for example, when me, Sim, and Landy do multiplayer in FSX, and we do it occasionally off camera, we'll play using FS Cloud, which has a 15-second lag, and there has been a new thing suggested to us by Gun Gamers, who is a flight sim regular. So go check him out on Twitch if you're interested. GUNNINGAMERZ. May or may not be PG, but he does a lot of flight sim stuff. And of course, I do watch a lot of flight sim streams over on Twitch, so you might spot me in the viewer list. I don't really interact with chat too much on Twitch. I don't really chat too much, but I'll be in a lot of streams. Chilling out watching the guys flying their Boeings and Airbuses. He streams this kid at times, so I think it's PG. Yeah, could well be. But I was watching him the other night and he was flying a North American P-51D, which is very nice. Also, and this is just something I'm toying with as an idea, not 100% convinced by it yet. I am thinking of doing flight sim streams over on Twitch occasionally, just kind of at night. I'll be on TeamSpeak, so you might hear me talking to somebody who doesn't exist because I have TeamSpeak running in a different audio source. Doesn't Gunning Gamers do FS as well? Yes, he does, Rob. He is a farm sim YouTuber as well, and he puts stream highlights from his FSX experiences up on YouTube as well. But he streams over on Twitch, and I was in a stream the other night. It's very enjoyable. He streams P3D. FSX is in there alongside the Ultimate Traffic add-on. Nice! If you got a joystick, FSX is really enjoyable. You will need some, like, ideally third-party aircraft from, if you want general aviation A to A. If you want jets, you'll be looking at PMDG and Aerosoft. If you're gonna go somewhere in the middle, Carnado's the place to go. Logic joystick you've had for ages. Hey, give it FSX a go, dude. If you hop on TeamSpeak some night, I at the very least can hop into FS Cloud within like 5 minutes and set up a flight with something small. Landy may or may not be able to, depending on what he's doing. Sim might be around. Good guy, not watched him for a long time. I I haven't really watched him all that much. Like, the first time I think I've really watched him was the other night when I was just chilling out watching him doing some air hauler, actually. One of the few that does general aviation craft over on Twitch. So I must actually follow his Twitch sometime soon. Might go over there tonight and just drop a follow. Probably be Friday or Saturday night. Saturday is going to be a bit dodgy for me even being around. Because Cannonball Ireland's going to Cork on Saturday, and I'm conveniently going karting in Cork Saturday morning / afternoon. So I might try and be cheeky and get to Cork City, or get to Blarney Woolen Mills. Try and talk people into going to Cannonball because they're finishing the day in Blarney Woolen Mills on Saturday. When we're going to be that way anyway, and I'm going to try my luck. And if you're wondering why I'm going karting in just a random Saturday in September, it's because it's for my birthday and it's the first chance we've got. Everybody's got the day off, nobody's working, and karting is fun. We all enjoy it. Except my mother, who doesn't want to try and go fast. She's not comfortable with that. So she doesn't go karting. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, you can hit the like button or subscribe as well if you haven't already. And, of course, you can share and hit the notification bell and send super chats and member-ize yourself, whatever it's called, join member. I gotta go fast. I really do. Especially this week, because I race things on week 13. There's no series that are interesting. I mean, I could do some NASCAR, but I don't have the track NASCAR on. Love go-karting, might convince them to organize for your birthday on Wednesday next week. Go for it, Dave. It's just good fun, like, pushing any vehicle, even a go-kart, as hard as you can, and testing your abilities. You have to go fast for karting. Yeah. She doesn't go karting though. She'll sit in the public area and just watch. 55 liking, 23 likes. Come on, 55 liking. Yeah, everybody like, and then we'll have 55 liking. Licking. Yeah. Dave cannot talk to Dave, for he is Dave. Hey Liam, how you doing today, dude? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing better than me. I am struggling to trust my my stomach at the moment. No new mod hub mods. Maybe tomorrow you'll see a couple. I don't know. At least we know testing is open at the moment. I don't know if ingest for testing is open. What do I plan on doing after the harvest? Well, I've been asked to do some silage, so I'll probably do some silage over in field 7. Maybe 6 as well. Where did I put the trailer? There it is. So in fact we can turn the harvester off now and grab the Fent. So Mr. DustyDave is pleased with everything. The list of mods being tested at the moment contain a single axle trailer pack. Let me check real quick. I can go to Chrome in this window. New notification on Twitter. 3 new followers, 9 likes, 3 retweets. Nice. Daily updates. The Hill of Slovenia, Art Mechanic, LS35, Depot Shed, Bresson Lada 317. 1 axle trailer pack. Yes, it does, Liam. Machine Hall, Baltic Sea, Drying Prolift D10 and Jade Mountain, and I never checked the Slack today. okay? Nothing new there. I would be so annoyed if there was good news in the Slack, and I just didn't see it because I wasn't checking. DustyDave is pleased. DustyDave is a bit of a Fent fanboy. In much the same way as I guess I'm a bit of a New Holland fanboy. I do like using New Hollands. Just like how they look. But Fents do look awesome as well. I do actually quite look. I really like when I'm out and about seeing a Fent. I like seeing any tractor, even if it's John Deere. I know that I rip on them a lot, but do I not find this Fent a little bouncing cab? No, because I don't really go in cab. Let's have the checking cab. I would argue that's just cab suspension, honestly. Like, this doesn't seem overly bouncy at all. Hello, Blue Bill. How you doing today, dude? I'd argue that this Fent isn't too overly bouncy in cab. Put down the steering wheel. I did. As soon as I noticed that it was up and it shouldn't have been, I put it down. Don't worry, Glengar. I'm not that mean. I really should just raise the mower there instead of just turning it off. Just got back from the minor injury unit. What have you done to yourself this time, Bill? You have a Fent hoodie. Oh, look at my Discord pictures. Now I've got to check. I think I had Discord open on my phone. Nope, I had YouTube open on my phone. Let's not start playing that video from Mentor Pilot. Let's have a look here. Oh, I'm already in pictures. Oh, nice. Nice, Dave. Set up too quick in the bathroom sink cabinet. Disagreed with you. Ooh, yeah, not fun. So what happens when you have your legs attached, Bill? You should have taken the legs off and you'd have been fine. So, fun thing actually. I scared the crap out of Landy last night because there's a spider on the chest of drawers here beside me. I took a picture of it, threw it into Facebook, into the team chat into the chat we've got going between the lot of us on TeamSpeak. And Landy and Jess both started screaming "kill it" at me. Because they decided it was way too big and deserved to die as a result. Bit of magic glue and you get to have a quiet evening with a sore head. Oh, fun. Fun times. Oh dear. And the fun thing is that magic glue is literally just super glue. Super glue that you can buy in a hardware store is what is used medically as magic glue. That's why it was invented. It was actually invented, I think it was actually invented to like stick things together normally, but they discovered that it worked particularly well with skin. Which is why if you super glue your fingers together, it's incredibly difficult to get them back apart. Not that I've ever super glued my fingers together accidentally every time I try and use super glue. Every single time I use super glue, my fingers end up stuck together. Better than no reason 2-day headache. This is true! Let's just magic edge our way out and go up to field 7. Because I don't think that's enough silage to be really considered silage. Let's go up to field 7 and do some proper silage. Whee! Whoops. Whee! Oh, okay. Do you know, if the gate was further back here and this was a steeper climb, you could probably ramp over it completely in a tractor. Could you imagine trying to use that with MR? That gate? Yeah, that wouldn't happen. I need to get absolutely nothing up. I'm just going to drive the tractor into this field. Nope, 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 and back you go. Hello, Superliner. How are you doing today? Fact Sheet Friday tomorrow, indeed. Chris couldn't pull a baler up the hill the other night. Yeah, it's a bit steep. It's not for something that. It's not for a mod that will tweak physics like Gearbox, because that does tweak physics. Of course, the other way is just going through field 8. Sounds fun scaring Landy. I don't know if I'd call it fun, but it was funny. Because he was terrified. Using a 11090 and a Heston. There's no wonder he couldn't get it up the bloomin' hill. Also, I've just realised I never did look at that 11090 you found for me, Fangar. Didn't even click the link, so I need to do that after the stream. Actually, after I do some recording, because I've got some recording to do. For tomorrow, in fact. Warning, field entrance not MR friendly. Warning, Farm Sim 17 not really MR friendly. It's the proper 190. I know, but I just completely slipped my mind. You find that 11090 a bit too brown. See, I think the colour's about right. Toro Rosso have a short list of 10 drivers for next season. Well, none of them will be as bad as Lando Norris. I know one of the drivers on Toro Rosso's short list is Daniel Kvyat again. The man who just seemingly keeps going back to Toro Rosso despite knowing that he's got basically no prospects for the future with the Red Bull setup. If I was him, I'd just go into sports car racing and say, screw you Red Bull, I'm going home. I know that he wants to be in Formula 1, but there comes a time when you have to say, well, this isn't viable for me. I'd be better off being in sports cars and having a seat that's relatively safe, guaranteed for at least 2 seasons. Yeah, Lando's got chosen for McLaren next year. That is a horrific mistake. He's good on the track. I'm not gonna deny that he's good on the track. He is a very good driver. Like, as a driver. But his PR work leaves a lot to be desired. Saw a couple of his streams. You know what I'm talking about then, Glengar. Glengar knows what I'm talking about because his streams are where it really just falls apart. Because he doesn't present himself well on those. And I'd imagine McLaren will tell him to stop streaming. Because, yeah, the last thing they want is a driver who's potentially going to lose them sponsors by saying something really stupid on a stream again. Yeah, Ocon needs a seat for 19. I hope that us and Lando Norris did unite a couple of years ago. I don't know what Lando's done in the past. I know that he's currently in F2, moving up to F1, and streaming on Twitch. That's all I know about Lando. Also that he's got the personality of a cactus. Hey Taylor and Gav. I think the best move for Ocon would be, I guess hope in a way, is that Force India and Williams do a straight swap, him for Stroll. I can't really see that happening, but that'd be his best case scenario. I can see Stoffel Van Dorn going to Williams instead. Apparently, Kubica has a contract. I'm not going to argue with Kubica coming back, because that'd be kind of the end of the fairy tale. The happily ever after we all wanted the end of the fairy tale of Kubica nearly losing his hand. So that's that's a move that I wouldn't mind happening. Just for that reason. Who knows though, with the new ownership in Force India, it could be Stroll and Ocon next year. Or not Force India, in Williams it could be Stroll, or not Stroll, Ocon and Van Dorn. They might decide to go for a different route and go with non-pay drivers. Hello, Henry. Toto said he's left a couple more ties, and then O'Connor get a seat next year to stay in F1. I mean, what's the difference between normal and deluxe in Penberlan? I believe, Dusty, you can confirm this. Deluxe is extended and has a new main yard. They're the two main differences. I don't really know other than that. Because I've not played Penberlan so long that I can't really remember all that much about the map. Larger and read-on areas. Oh, I was right. Is Kubica able to drive the car? Yeah. Sheep Farm is new. Maybe. People wanted a bigger map, so ta-da! Kubica is able to drive the car, Rob. He has done multiple tests. Including, I think he did a double race distance at one point for Renault. When they were testing him to see if they wanted to take him on as a test driver. They didn't, so he went to Williams and got a really nice contract lined up for him there. His Williams contract is kind of the stuff of dreams. He gets paid a lot of money to sit around and do some simulator work, with the promise that if either of the drivers leave, their Williams are contractually obliged to put him in the car for races. Like that is the perfect scenario for an F1 driver. Yeah, he did a fair bit pre-season. He's done... Hey, Carl. He's done some Friday work, I think, as well this season. But it's I'd honestly love to see him back in a car. I don't care. Yeah, well, over one lap he's faster, but over distances is bad wrist, and it kind of causes him issues because he can't really use that arm, and it means he has to put twice as much effort into this good arm, which kind of ruins it. It makes them both bad arms by the end of a race distance. Be a great story for Kubica, and he is one of the most likable guys in Formula 1. I put him up there with Daniel Ricciardo. And back in the day, Mark Webber, Felipe Massa, Rubens Barrichello. Yeah, he's that caliber of just nice guy. Hey Paul, bye Paul. I guess. So I've got a lot of work to do after the stream tonight. I need to record something for tomorrow. And I need to get that rendered out and then another video rendered out. The flight sim video that I was supposed to put up today, but because the upload failed for yesterday, it's going to go up tomorrow. I won't be doing a flight sim stream tomorrow on YouTube, by the way. I'll be streaming Farm Sim just because I've missed 2 streams this week and I don't want to have a dump stream. I'll be missing 3 this week actually because Saturday's going to be a non-stream day as well. So no flight sim stream this week. I want to do some Farm Sim instead, get some views. I'll be blunt. But I've got stuff kind of half planned and stuff planned. For tomorrow. And I'll try and get a video recorded for Saturday as well to replace the stream. It won't be 2 hours long like a stream would be, but I'll get a half-hour video recorded on literally a map. This never changed. Well, Formula 1's always had pay drivers, it's just usually they've gone to crap teams. Scuderia Italia used to be a pay driver team. Jordan, it could be argued with pay drivers, even when Michael Schumacher was with them, he was a pay driver. A lot of teams had pay drivers over the years. It's just now that the finances are such that basically every team needs pay drivers. This is Penberlan Deluxe, Paul. This is DustyDave's new map. So nothing's changed in Formula 1 other than the fact that the financial issues have kind of come further up the grid. To the point where I've read somewhere that about half the teams in Formula 1, if they didn't have a pay driver, they wouldn't exist. Well, that's an unsustainable sport. It's a sport that probably has less than a decade left if it continues. Link is in the description. It's not actually, it's on FSUK, Paul. I really should put a link in the description, but I was kind of rushing to get the stream ready today. So I do apologise for that. If one of the mods wants to grab the link to the download, there you go. DustyDave's giving you the link himself. Ocon's problem is he's got the talent but not the money, which is possibly why Force India went into the... well, one of the reasons Force India went into the financial problems and administration. One of the bigger ones was the whole Vijay Mallya having major issues financially. And having the ties to Force India. Which is why, when Racing Point, the holding company, bought out Force India, the rest of the teams on the grid forced them to keep the Force India name for the remainder of the season. They didn't want basically the team being a Mercedes satellite under a new name. So to discourage Mercedes, they forced them to keep the tainted Force India name. Was the other team meant to join F1 at the same time as Haas? There was no other team supposed to join the same time as Haas. There was supposed to be a US F1 team joining the same time as HRT, Manor, and or Marussia as it was at the time, and was it Virgin F1? Do I have a Let's Play series? Not at the moment, kind of. I'd argue I'm better known as a streamer at this point, so I've not been focusing on videos too much. Once Shamrock Valley we get to go ahead to do videos and streams, I will have the Let's Play series on that. And I've been doing a Flight Sim kind of mini series the last few days that I know a few people have been enjoying. Not many people have been watching, but a few have been enjoying. But if you're into Flight Sims, it's kind of fun to see just a flight going in really fast time. But I will be doing some more flight simming on Twitch in the future. Williams win the Constructors' Championship. Never gonna happen. Yeah, VJ Malia was the main driving force behind Perez forcing Force India into administration. Perez openly said, like, this was the only way the team would survive. As comical as it is, he's probably right. Map such. What? Hello, AgriVids. How you doing today, dude? You're saying it sucks. At least you're saying it to the mapper's face, because Dusty's in here. Believe that if the Honda deal doesn't work out for Red Bull, they're out of F1. Yeah, but Red Bull will say that if somebody farts in the wrong direction. I don't trust Red Bull when they say that. Ferrari are much the same. Somebody so much as farts in the wrong direction in the paddock, Ferrari will threaten to quit. Can't stand Stroll. I don't mind him. How am I? I'm doing good. How are you doing, Michael? Hello, Connor Comiskey as well. Yeah, it's widely believed that Perez has signed an extension with Force India. You hate him, pay driver. He's not really a pay driver though, DJ. You can't be a pay driver if your dad literally owns the team. There's a difference between a pay driver and just nepotism. We don't know about Kimi. I think there's a 50-50 chance of Kimi being there next year in Ferrari. Latest rumor I've heard is Leclerc is now under consideration for the Ferrari seat. So if Leclerc goes to Ferrari, that means we could see Ocon at Sauber. You haven't seen me in a while? You hate small maps? I mean, that's your own personal preference. I prefer small maps. I think they're a lot more fun to play. They're not as much as I enjoy big maps like the West Coast and stuff like that. Small maps just let me do more quickly. According to Sky Italia, Kimi was told after Monza he's out, and Leclerc signed a deal with the former boss, which was the strangest set of circumstances I've ever seen to change a team owner in Formula 1 or a team, or I guess a team boss. I've never seen that happen before. I actually woke up, Landy, yes. I started half an hour late, but I did wake up. I told you not to trust the whole, oh, it's like 7 o'clock. Dave's not going to stream. Check my email today. Yes, I got the 3 emails that were sent out. I'll be recording that after the stream. So it might not be in yours. So I do want to get that done, and dinner's going to be fairly soon as well, so... Apparently Sauber are considering Van Dorn. That wouldn't be a bad move. Who else uses Mercedes engines? You're rendering yours now? Yeah, I was running behind, so I haven't recorded mine yet, but I'll do it after. I'll do it after the stream. Won't be a big deal. Without saying too much here, very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. You like small maps as long as they don't have a yard that's impossible with the trailer on, like Bell and Craig. Yeah. Carl wants a big map. And big maps are great, but small maps let you do things faster. Small maps are a bit more YouTube friendly, I think. Because, like, you think, I've harvested half a field today, I've mowed 2 fields, and I'm windrowing the second now already, and we've only been going for less than an hour. Just under an hour now. So, with the remainder of the stream, the half hour or so that's left, we'll probably be able to bail field 3. We'll probably be able to get some silage out of these fields as well. Hello, Josh. First, that's kind of what we predicted, more or less. And Spencer, hello. It's all the same, scale your equipment accordingly. Good evening, hello. Lancashire. Yeah, like Lancashire said, if you use smaller equipment on a smaller map, suddenly it becomes a lot more fun and it behaves a bit more like a big map. The only difference being it takes less time to get between your fields. I hate maps that it takes like 10 minutes to get between fields. Like, you might notice that I never, kind of as a rule, play a 4x map. Number one is because it's not on consoles, and I don't want to deal with people screaming at me because of that. And number two, I don't want to be spending 20 minutes driving between fields when I'm streaming, because that's 20 minutes of a stream that's, you know, kind of at most 2, maybe 3 hours long if I'm feeling particularly fat and sassy. That's that time gone just moving a tractor. It's not really YouTube friendly. Smaller maps like this, I can spend as little as 1 minute between fields. Penberlan Deluxe console, yeah, but at least I don't have to explain that no, the consoles literally can't allow 4x because they're not powerful enough. Yeah, I don't have to explain that and have people scream at me the consoles are plenty powerful. With Penberlan, it's just this kind of a situation where it's not on console because DustyDave didn't want it to go on console because he uploaded to FSUK, because FSUK has a much faster turnaround for release than Giant's Mod Hub currently does. If you think about Shamrock Valley, the day that it was uploaded to Giants was the day that all the first looks went up. It's still not even confirmed as in testing, so the turnaround right now on Giant's Mod Hub is incredibly slow. And, you know, it's going to be kind of, I think, minimum 2 weeks before we get either a fail or a public release of Shamrock Valley. And I think if there is a fail, I think Oxy might just say screw it and upload it to FSUK. Because patience with everybody is kind of wearing a bit thin. You know, Giants are going to be shutting down the mod hub soon-ish, I believe. I'd be very surprised if they didn't just shut testing sooner or later and focus 100% on FS19. You know, the resources are going to be stretched right now. Yeah, Dusty did a great job on this map. But Dusty, to be fair to him, and no pressure here, Dusty. Dusty usually does a good job at maps. Dusty knows what he's at. He'll occasionally bring out one that makes me question if he's alright, like Valley View. But he's a very good mapper. Like, this is kind of the minimum of what I'd expect from Dusty at this point. Bessie Beneath I've got very high hopes for, so no pressure. I've got a plan for Bessie Beneath. Hey, VF. People are going to be happy with that plan as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they did this batch mods and called it. See, they'll have to publicly announce when they're shutting the mod hub, because if they don't, and I can tell you right now, if Giants don't publicly announce it, there's going to be blowback from people who, just whether right or wrong, want to complain about Giants shutting testing with no warning. I'm looking forward to FS19's Fantonment. That's one of my favourite maps from FS15. Small maps are stupid. I'd argue the same could be said about people who want to whine about a kind of map in general. I've seen some really dumb small maps, I've seen some really smart small maps. This is one of the smart ones. Shamrock Valley, again, is a small map, but it's incredibly smart. The space is very well used. Maps don't need to be big to use space well. They just need to be well made. Hey Nathan. Well, I've been looking forward to Shamrock. Can I say Shamrock? I'm looking forward to Bessie Beneath as well, actually. Bessie Beneath I'm looking forward to. I know that's Dusty's kind of big map for the game, so I'm looking forward to that and having a bit of fun with it. So I will be playing Bessie Beneath if he ever gets around to finishing it. Dusty's just sat there swearing at me right now. And I'm with you there. You have a big... If I'm playing a big map, you'll notice that I use very, very few fields. Like, I pick and choose my fields and I tend to cluster them because it's a lot easier to get between fields if they're clustered than if they're spread every... Yep. We're going at the speed of snail. Forgot this tractor was pretty marginal on power with the baler. Big map use seasons and ramp up the fields each year. I mean, that's another way of doing it, yeah. Imagine this, you wouldn't get around this map with MR. Like, this map would be unplayable with MR. So I kind of like the default physics of Farm Sim, to be honest. Like, I feel like some things could be done better, but that's always going to be the case. But like, you look at what happened there. This tractor is running marginal on power with the baler on the back, so it makes sense that it would slow down to a crawl there because it's, number one, having to power the damn thing, and number two, trying to pull it. The map's not allowed to go into the mod hub. It's because of the drink on the table in the house. There's many reasons it might get rejected, Farming Boy, if you're talking about Shamrock. And I'm aware of multiple reasons Giants might want to reject it. Landy's aware of multiple. I'm sure Bill's aware of a few. I'm sure Oxy's aware of a few more. You know, there's a million and one reasons why a map might get rejected on the mod hub. And at this point, I'm kind of coming of the opinion, and it's slowly moving towards the opinion that you shouldn't really be uploading to Giants Mod Hub today or tomorrow, or kind of moving forward. You should be looking into uploading to FSUK, which, in my opinion, and quite honestly, is probably the only other mod site that I'd consider not 100% trustworthy, because there's never 100% trust. Even Giants Mod Hub, I don't 100% trust it, just because things can slip through cracks. But FSUK is the only other mod site that I consider actually trustworthy, because they double check everything. You know, FSUK and Giants Mod Hub are the only two places that you get mods that have been tested by somebody, and if they're not good enough, they fail. And they get sent back to the map. Whoever made it and told, whoever made it is told, this is why it failed. Please fix these things, and we'll have a second look. And see if it can go up when those are fixed. Now, the FSUK, they'll not only tell you what you failed on, but how to fix those fails, which is fantastic. And I think Giants need to look into that as a system. Is list out the failures and then say how to do them, which or say how to fix them, because that's something that, as far as I'm aware, is missing right now. Is just you'll get a list of fails and that's it. And there has been some criticism. There's been no explanation of how this has failed on something incredibly tiny, and other maps have gone up or whatever. It's like having your car in CT. It's like getting your eyes tested or something, or getting a medical checkup. If you fail on something, a doctor will say, "Oh, this isn't right. Let's fix that." That's the way FSUK kind of works. Is they're kind of the doctor in a medical checkup. You send your map in, it gets this little medical checkup. If it's good, the doctor will send you away and say, "Nope, you're good. Continue." If not, the doctor will say, "Ooh, this isn't quite right. Let's have a look. Let's have a bit more of a look into this. Let's try and fix it." That's the way FSUK works, and I think that's a very, very good standard for mod sites. Now, unfortunately, the only one that's not Giants Mod Hub that I'm aware of that tests mods is FSUK, so that's something you should be aware of when you're downloading from ModHost or something. Is that stuff, there is no guarantees. There are no guarantees that anything on ModHost will ever work or not work, or even be what it claims to be. I've seen mods on ModHoster that were claiming to be like big M's that were just the Ogre Wagon, the in-game Ogre Wagon that didn't even have wheels. So be aware of that when you download stuff from ModHoster or any of the other sites. Whereas FSUK, you're getting stuff that's at least been tested. I see Mr. Bullet Bill has got bored of somebody's nonsense. Just use featured mods on ModHoster. They're not even tested, Andy. Not even the featured stuff is tested. That's the problem with ModHosters. There's no testing, and without going too far into it and without setting Bullet Bill off, the owner isn't exactly the nicest person in the world. Yeah, could you speak English, please, Alchemir? Or Alcimir, however that's pronounced. Just that my mods don't really know any languages other than English, and it makes them a bit uncomfortable not knowing what people are saying. 9 out of 10 times they're not mad. Yeah, I mean, with ModHoster, I get something that's rated 4 stars or higher. If I look at something that looks interesting and it's rated 4 stars or higher, I'll 9 times out of 10 download it and give it a look. If it's any lower, I'll probably ignore it, because honestly, if it's rated low, then what's the point? Your tolerance to stupid is low. Mine's getting bigger. You're leaving the stream because I'm not answering your questions. I haven't seen your questions, David. I apologize. If you're gonna go because of that, then fine. But I'm not some magical chat reading robot that can see everything instantly. Sometimes I'm on a train of thought and I'll kind of not look at chat too much because I'm trying not to distract myself from what I'm, you know, trying to say and where I'm going with a train of thought. You haven't asked any questions. Well, that explains why. You said hello, and now you're complaining that I'm not answering questions you didn't ask. You never answered the questions I never asked. Hey, Dan. Use a quick test. See, it's easier to just use the ratings, because if it's rated badly, it's probably a piece of junk. I think he's gone, guys. Let's leave him alone. I think he's not here anymore. Oh dear. My guess is he was asking stuff about consoles and forgot the console is in the blacklist. So if you ask stuff about console, you've got to misspell it. Basically because I don't want people screaming, "Why isn't this on console?" at me every 5 minutes. That is a horrible misspelling, Alchemir. Well, hello. That was a horrible accident. The mistakes that happen when English isn't your first language. When do I do MP? I don't. In Farm Sim. I don't like how multiplayer runs in Farm Sim at the moment. I'm looking forward to 19. Yes, it is, Bill. I'm looking forward to 19 because they're changing up multiplayer. So bans are permanent, and that's something that I feel needs to be done. So I'll have a look into multiplayer again in 19, but 17 now, I just don't enjoy it. I don't find it enjoyable. How's it going? Going relatively good. Do not trust my stomach, but that I trust it enough to stream today, but not enough that I'm gonna even consider doing like any extensions to the stream. Even if Landy wasn't streaming, I wouldn't do it. You miss spending your Sunday afternoons on the server? Yeah. I kind of miss the chill days where I just go on and chill out on the server, but I don't miss the aggro of the streams and how stressed I got during those streams. So yeah, that's why I stopped doing multiplayer. It's just that I got so stressed and aggroed that they ended up as just a hot mess. And when I needed to take half an hour after every stream to calm down, that meant that I wasn't having good streams. I prefer to take half an hour after every stream to do a cooldown after being like really hyped and amazingly happy or something than being really angry at everybody. I don't know why I'm giggling so much today. Farm Sim on console sub. Farm Sim on console isn't necessarily bad, it's just very limited. Like, Sony and Microsoft have put in place very strict limitations on what can and can't be done with Farm Sim. Partially because they like limiting stuff for game developers, and partially because the consoles just can't handle some stuff. And there are memory limitations. That's why there's a slot system, is to just consoles don't have the memory of PCs. The PCs have. The graphics are awful. They're about the same as on PC. Forza and F1 online lobbies. I just get angry at Forza. I need to uninstall that because it angers me. The physics are so bad that they make no sense to me. What's annoying me today though is that iRacing this week has no races that interest me. This is a bit of a dud week 13 because I'm not going to buy a new car in the form of the Ferrari GT3 just so that I can do some races. Or I'm not going to buy the McLaren MP430 Formula 1 car just so I can do a couple of races. Hey David! Do you have any actual questions you want to ask that'll maybe show up on stream this time? Because the ones that you were apparently asking before never did. So I didn't answer them because I couldn't see them, as it turned out. PC graphics are a lot better and it runs a lot smoother. It depends on the PC, Andy. Like on my PC, yeah, it's gonna blow consoles out of the water because it's just a good PC. You believe Competizione is dropping this weekend? I believe I'm not interested in Competizione because I'm gonna get my racing fix from iRacing, which has better quality racing in general, and everything else that I want to do sim-wise is flight sim. So I don't think I'm gonna get ACC. Forza physics aren't realistic, but you find it really fun. See, I don't find games that have horrifically unrealistic physics fun. I know Farm Sim has horrifically unrealistic physics at times, but I don't know what a tractor should do in reality. What is ACC? It's the new Assetto Corsa game, Martin. Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's releasing into early access. Is it this weekend? Soon. It is It's the game based on the Blancpain GT3 Championship, so it's got a few GT3 cars in it. Hello, Bucko. And hello, Tractor Lad. What's SNES? Is that a serious question, Andy? I'm genuinely having to ask this. Is that a serious question? Because I don't know if you're old enough to remember the SNES. I can't believe I'm having to ask this question. Drops on the 12th. So, middle of next week then. Hello, Michael. How are you doing today, dude? Look, I'm not even asking Andy as a troll. Like, are you asking a serious question? Because if you don't know, the SNES is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was the precursor system. It was the console between the Nintendo, the original NES, the Nintendo that Mario came out on originally, and the N64. It was the one that was in between those two. So you had the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and then the N64. Kind of annoyed they never went with Ultra Nintendo. You didn't know, you didn't play it at all. I never played the SNES. I played a bit of N64. Yeah, Darren, that's on Class. That's not on Giants. Giants... Without going into the details of why Class aren't going to be an FS19 on launch, Giants did absolutely everything they could to get Class in the game. The reason Class isn't in the game is because of Class. Giants are doing their damnedest to get every brand they can. So if a brand's not in, odds are either Giants couldn't find a place for it, which is going to be the case with some smaller brands, or the brand themselves just couldn't come to an agreement with Giants. And it's in 90% of cases it's on the brands. Even at a GameCube, oh my god, that was How come Cluster and Cattle and Crops? Cattle and Crops didn't have the same problem Giants do. Again, not going to go into details, but Cattle and Crops... Giants have a specific problem to do with farm sim. The class weren't willing to deal with. I know the exact reason. I'm not going to publicize the exact reason, but there's a farm sim specific problem the class are not willing to do a deal with, which is why they're in Cattle and Crops but not farm sim. Now, Giants, I've got no evidence of this, but I'm 100% sure, nonetheless. The Giants are going to continue to do their absolute damnedest to get class into the game and come to an agreement with them. I'm feeling better. Kind of. Feeling good enough. Yeah, like I said, VF, it's a farm sim specific problem. It's got something to do with Farming Simulator itself. The block that's there for farm sim doesn't exist within Cattle and Crops. And that's without going into detail and revealing stuff that is best kept secret. You're surprised John Deere decided to play ball with farm sim. John Deere are smart, DJ. John Deere are very smart. They know that, in essence, when you boil it down for the brands, farm sim is a really good marketing tool. Being in farm sim is really good marketing because you look at... Yeah, it's genuinely surprised that the block we thought was there with John Deere wasn't actually there. It was just them... It was basically the block that was there with John Deere, and why John Deere wasn't in before was because John Deere had already signed exclusive agreements that they couldn't get out of. So John Deere had to wait until the exclusive agreements they'd come up with before Giants started approaching them, until they were over, before they could be in farm sim, which apparently has happened now. So John Deere, as soon as that happened, just said, yeah, we're good now. Away we go. Here, have some tractors. Have a license. Probably costs a pretty penny nonetheless, but like I said, farm sim is a really good marketing tool. Because you think about it, okay? You think about farm sim. You talk about we end up talking about Fent a lot because they're a base game brand. Talk about New Holland a lot because they're a base game brand. Case. Yeah, let's look at just the in-game brands. So I'm going to go into tractors here, just tractor brands only. Hurleman we talk about, Zetter we talk about, even though it's a tiny brand. And Hurleman, I could argue, is very small as well. Steyr, quite small. New Holland, Lindner is a tiny brand. Massey Ferguson, huge brand, but it gets free advertising. Effectively free advertising. Deutzfahr, big in Germany, not so much everywhere else, but it's in farm sim, so people talk about it. Valtra, you know, they're on a big marketing push at the moment. People are talking about them. JCB, they want people to see their tractors. They're in farm sim. That's the easiest place to get for people to see their tractors. And then you look at, I can't look at the DLCs, but it's just an easy way to get people talking about their brand, and people who are interested in agriculture talking about their brand and the idea of using, we'll say, a Valtra for baling. It's a way to get that implanted in people's heads. So it's very cheap marketing for any brand that's in farm sim. It's also why brands generally don't have a problem with mods. It's why John Deere never really threw a hissy fit about all the John Deere mods that are in farm sim. Because John Deere knows that people are going to talk about John Deere if somebody's made a John Deere for farm sim. Because people will say, "Oh, look, a John Deere." John Deere knows what's up. Even Class know what's up. They've got they've got that one thing that's blocking them, but they know what's up. They know it's effectively free advertising. No news on Shamrock just yet, Adam. No. And a lot of future farmers were playing the game. So you look at farm sim, you see Fent, you see New Holland. let's just look at 17. We're going to ignore 19 for now. What brand's missing from 17? John Deere. That's less people with eyes on John Deere. Yeah, there's still a lot of people who want it, but less eyes from the youngest people, who are maybe making up their minds about what tractors they like the most. And not having the ability to play about with the John Deere if you only ever... Like, we'll say if you're on console. Like the absolute youngest would be. There's no John Deere. They can't get their hands on a John Deere in FS17. So that's John Deere losing money, not now, but maybe in 30 years' time they'll lose some money from not being in FS17 or 15. So the brands generally want to be in Farm Sim. I want to be in games because that's putting the idea of using this brand for something into the youngest generation of farmers' minds. The people who aren't going to be farming for another 20, 30 years. And aren't going to have any purchasing decisions in farming for 20, 30 years. And they'll remember back as a child, ooh, I really liked that John Deere when I was young. I wonder if I can get a John Deere now. Or, ooh, I remember when I was playing Farm Sim, I always had a New Holland baler. Let's get a New Holland baler. Apart from Toyota, they don't like to play ball. Toyota don't really have any farming equipment though. Like vehicle manufacturers, like car manufacturers don't really care about Farm Sim. They want to be in Forza. Because that's where the future drivers are going to be. You know, car manufacturers want to be in Forza, Need for Speed, Project Cars to a certain extent. They want to be in those games because that's where all the people who are going to be buying cars in 10 years' time are going to be. That's why you see Forza and the insane car list they have, and Gran Turismo and the insane car list they have. And you realise that's actually just marketing. Every game that comes out that has licenses is just marketing for whatever they're licensed. Need for Speed's still a thing? I don't know! But that was the game that had like all the licenses when I was young, and it was all the supercars. So it kind of implanted in me the idea of a 350Z. Or, you know, a Porsche Carrera GT. Or something like that, you know. Toyota's only in GT Sport. They don't want people looking at their cars. It's in Project Cars as well. It's in Forza. Toyota cars aren't in the new Forza and Need for Speed games due to licensing. I didn't know that. Now that I think about it, yeah, it is only Toyota race cars, isn't it? Because it's the Toyota NASCAR and the TS050s in Forza. The TS04s, they're in Assetto Corsa though. How'd they do that? How did Assetto Corsa manage it? Need for Speed went downhill very quickly after Underground 2. Am I going to do a series on here? Probably not. It's going to be a stream series. Like, I've been streaming it and that's probably all I'm going to really keep to. I will put the archives live. I need to catch up on archives. So possibly Saturday I'll just put a couple of archives live instead of streaming because I will be AFK on Saturday. Taking a day for myself where I get to just chill out and drive some go-karts and nag people into going to Cork so that I can see supercars! Tutorial Niki, du können Sie bitte auf Englisch sprechen? Ich spreche auch ein bisschen Deutsch und ich bin nicht so gut. Is his oldest license things from start 2017? Oh, okay. Now the people who think that I only ever speak English are really confused by me suddenly swapping to German. I'm completely swapping my accent. One of your favourite tractors hasn't been in any farm sim, even as a mod. 64.99 Dynashift. I swear I had a 64.99 Dynashift in FS13. I swear I had a 64.99 back then. RainbowDave. So, for those of you that didn't know, I do actually have a small bit of German. You mean to learn some German? It's a very useful language when it comes to farm sim. Because you can do rough translations of the stuff that only ever comes out in German. Will there still be older tractors in 19? I believe so. The word that I've been hearing, and I've got very little confirmation on this, and there is very little confirmation out there, is that Giants are moving in the direction of maybe some more... I've got more German than I do Irish, Glengar. Giants are moving in the direction of maybe more old-timers, more stuff from the 90s and 80s and 19. There's no confirmation of that. That's just a rumor that I've heard, which I hope is true. It's a direction that I'd love Giants to go in, is more kind of older style tractors. But nothing confirmed or denied on that front. I really hope that rumor's true as well, because I will spam the living crap out of those as starter machines. Very useful indeed. What do the brands make of it? See, the way that it can be pitched to the brands, and this is the way that I'd pitch it, is, well, you're a brand that has a lot of history. Yeah, you brought out some of the world's greatest tractors. They're not in Farming Simulator. People can't see the wondrous tractors and the amazing technology you brought into the agricultural sphere. They can't see your history, but you're proud of it. So why not, you know, give us the licenses for... Why not license out some of your older machinery so that we can show people the history of your brand to a certain extent? Like, that'd be the way that I'd approach any brand, any company, and say, well, you've got a really long history, like John Deere. You've got a really long history in farming. You know, you started off with plows way back in the day, and now you're the biggest agricultural brand. Why not show off some of that history? I mean, you're proud of it. Why not embrace it and put some of it into the game so that people can see the history of John Deere in the game? Or you go to Massey Ferguson, do the same thing, you know, humble beginnings up to one of the biggest brands in agriculture. Fendt, same thing. New Holland, not so much because they used to be Ford, but there's a lot of brands you could go to. Even JCB, you know, the original Fast Track, that was a huge step forward in farming. It was the first truly fast tractor. Why isn't that in Farm Sim? I know that it's in. I know that the Fast Track 150 is in the Modern Classics, but that's not officially in Farm Sim. You know, that's a third-party DLC officially. But you could approach 90% of companies and say, "You've got a history. Why not show it off? Why not demonstrate how old your brand is, how prestigious it is, by showing everybody how proud you are of your history?" That's something that I feel like Giants could and should do. The real question is whether the brands would agree. Like, that'd be the real sticking point. I'll make a good pitch. I thank you! Hello, Lorcan. Fact sheets tomorrow? Indeed. I'll have a video on them tomorrow. 100% guaranteed. Father rather. would far rather drive late 90s to 2006 tractors than the newer stuff. Yeah, some people prefer using the historical tractors and that's kind of... That's how I'd pitch it anyway to the brands. I don't know if Giants would do something similar or if they'd go for a different approach altogether. But with all the brands saying, oh, we're so proud of our history, we're so proud of our heritage, well, prove it! Because in Farm Sim all we see is the modern stuff, and that's a bit of a shame. Because some of their heritage tractors are beautiful. Like the old John Deere 4755. I think it's a 4755. That's one of my favourite tractors, the one with the completely round cab front. That's amazing, I want that in Farm Sim, but you can't have it in Farm Sim because... number one, any mod that I've ever found of it is terrible. And number two, John Deere aren't in the game yet. But even the Massey 135, you know, that's had to be modded in. It shouldn't have to be modded in. That's one of Massey Ferguson's most popular and famous tractors of all time. That should be in the game. The... You know, the old Fergies, the T20s, they should be in the game. The Ferguson system. Hell, it was in the Massey logo for many years. But it's never been in Farm Sim. Despite Massey Ferguson now being in it. I say the Ferguson system's never been in. I know NM modded in for FS13. But it should be something that's in there by default. The brands are kind of losing their own heritage by wanting to advertise their new tractors. Because like I said earlier, Farm Sim is an advertising forum for the brands. You know, it's a quick and easy way to get their brands and their new tractors in kind of the eyes and the minds of potential buyers. But I think by doing that they're losing their own heritage, and it's a bit of a shame. I think it's something they need to think about. Is Landy alive yet, by the way? Because he should be. I'm gonna shout at him if he's not live. Because I do need to record a little something for tomorrow. Should make a game where you start in the 50s and make your way through the decades. There is one, but it's terrible, Andy. There's one, an absolutely shambolic game that does that. I have it, and it's actually unplayable even on my system now. Because it... Number one, it can never run 60 FPS even though it's from 2011, and I'm using a GTX 980. I can't get it to run 60. Ever. Not even unstable 60. It just will not hit 60 FPS. It barely even hits 30. And that's when it bothers to work. Most of the time, this one game crashes. Thank you, Agrisim, for being a steaming dumpster fire of a game. Stop people buying new tractors when they see the old tractors and like it. But if they like the old tractors, then they'll think, oh, what have they done more modern then? What can I buy right now that's made by these same people? You know, these guys made such an amazing tractor in the past. What can I get from them now? Plus, keep in mind, they're still making parts for quite a few of their older tractors. Will 2 i9s and 10 RTX 2080s run it? Yeah, maybe not, actually. Yeah. AgriSim is one of the worst games in history. Like, it's just bad. It was rushed out. The devs had basically no input in what went into the game, which is a big no-no. And the publisher basically forced them to make it in a very strict time frame and didn't give a damn about the bugs. It's a big difference between AgriSim and FarmSim. Is FarmSim, the Giants might make mistakes and might have made AgriSim. UIG, don't trust anything from them, although I think they've changed their name now, so I don't know what they're called anymore. But don't trust anything from UIG. Like, another thing for the brands to look at in terms of putting heritage stuff into Farm Sim is, what about the guys who just like using old tractors? What about people like me who, yeah, I'll use new stuff quite frequently and quite regularly, but I do quite like using historical farming equipment as well. You know, you look at the Insanity series, which I'm not doing today, but you look at the way that that's running. I've got all old equipment because that's, in a way, my comfort zone. It's hilariously tiny for the map, sure, but it's where I'm comfortable playing, and it's what I enjoy doing, because I guess I'm a bit of a historian when it comes to Farm Sim. I prefer using historical equipment. I don't necessarily enjoy using the newest stuff all that much. The older stuff just grabs my attention a bit more, because it looks more agricultural. Like, this is just a box with a cab on the back. When you look at old tractors, they all have basically the same design as box where engine goes, box where driver goes, boxes where wheels go. Tractor. Sure, they've all got their individual bits and pieces that the brands put on, but it all fits into nice, neat boxes. Landy's live. Just waiting for. I don't have confirmation of that, but I'm gonna trust you. Landy is live. Okay. So that's gonna do it for today, guys. I'm gonna go run and record a video for tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully streaming. No stream on Saturday, as I'll be AFK. I'm going to be going go-karting and trying to talk my parents into bringing me to see supercars again. So until next time, stay safe and goodbye.